Hello and welcome back to my channel, AJ Budgets. I am AJ and I am so thankful and grateful that you are here with me today. In today's video, we are doing week 2 of February's weekly wrap up. So let's get into it. The first thing that we're going to address are these nails by Shein. It is day 5. If you watched my money market versus a high yield savings account video that drops tomorrow, you'll get to see me put these nails on. I recorded that 5 days ago. And my hope was that these lasted 5 to 7 days, which would get me through Valentine's Day. Right now it is the day before Valentine's Day. And they have not survived the week. I mean, they've technically survived the week. The paint did not survive the week. To demonstrate where we started, this is where we've started. And this is where we are at. And then all of those, like the pink nails are pretty good, but all of those hot pink nails are very sad. So I'm probably going to soak these off because they are bothering me so bad. It's been so hard to keep them on all week, but it's been so busy. So I did find these on the clearance rack. They are pink-ish. They are the no glue mani, so the peel and stick, which I don't necessarily prefer. But I don't want to get off on like my normal nail schedule because I kind of have my month and life scheduled out around when I have time to do this. And so I think I'm going to pop these on because these will last a couple of weeks and that'll get me to the full 3 weeks for my set of nails. So, yeah, ignore the chaos of these nails. So we're going to get into pulling my weekly cash and doing all of my credit card things. Actually, I think I'm going to do my credit card first just because I do have some budgeted spending and one unbudgeted spending. All right, the first thing is last Saturday on the 7th, I got gas. So I need to pull that out of my personal funds. I got $13.31 in gas. I'm so grateful that I have my hybrid. I only filled up one time in all of January. This is January 17th. I'm gonna pull out $15, which will leave us with $60. And we have 20 or 75 in here, so let me pull some change. Okay, I switched out that 20 for 2 10s and I pulled that $15 out. So we have $60 left in our gas fund. Get paid again on the 20th, and I'll be stuffing my sinking funds here in the next couple of days. So that will be plenty of gas money for the rest of the month. Next, I need to pull 25 out of groceries and 10 out of pets. So we have 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, 80, 85, and $90 that needs to be added to my credit card payment tracker. I also did an additional $27 in spending that I didn't pull out. It is for yarn for the baby blanket. So I just recently learned how to crochet. It's a new hobby I picked up. And my ex-sister-in-law is having a new niece or nephew, and I wanted to learn how to crochet because I have some old yarn from her grandma, and I just thought it would be really special. And so I've been practicing and I'm ready to start that baby blanket. So I wanted to go ahead and get that yarn. I do have a savings challenge I'm saving for the baby, but I'm going to go ahead and since it's a no spend month last month and this month, I didn't spend my credit card allowance. And so I'm going to apply that credit card allowance with that. I owe $27. I give myself $50 for credit card allowance. So it's just a little over half of it. So I felt really good about that because it went to something that I want to do and I want to make. So yeah, anyways, personal. So we're adding $90, which will make this $15.27. And we'll be making this payment in a couple of weeks. It's due on the 25th. So we're just going to get all of our funds in here. And it'll be ready for when we make that payment, pay off that statement balance. Okay, I also did some unbudgeted spending though on Amazon. So speaking of my nieces and nephews, my middle sister-in-law, ex-sister-in-law, and her 4 kids are going on a cruise. And I was chatting with them on the phone. And I was telling them about the hiding the duck tradition, and they were so excited about it. So obviously I had to send them some ducks so they could hide the ducks, because they're very excited about finding them, but they also want to hide them. So I thought that was a very good reason to break my no spend for a day this month. So I spent $10.52 getting duckies shipped to them. And then I did get my calendar refund, and it was supposed to be refunded to my Chase Amazon account, but it went to my Amazon account. So I owe an additional I need an additional $8.28 for my credit card. So that's $18.80. So like I said earlier, I give myself a $50 credit card allowance each month. I'm going to spend $30 on my IHG card for the baby yarn, and I'm going to put the other $20 for my other nieces and nephews for the duckies that I spent. So that $50 allowance will be going to my credit cards, but they were all of that spending was for my nieces and nephews, or my future nieces and nephews. So now we are going to, I don't know why I put that away. So the next thing that we need to do is, it is payment week for Amazon Chase. So my Amazon Chase payment was due on, or is due on the 10th. So I went ahead and made the payment on the 10th, but I didn't pull the money because I wanted to do that in my weekly wrap up this week. So I did screen record that. So we'll put that in here where I paid $188. So my statement balance was $187.09, but I just went ahead and rounded up to $188. So I'm just going to pull that off of here, and then that way we have my balance, or my total, running for next week's payment. So we have Feb payment, and we pulled out $188, which will leave us with $11. So I'm going to pull out $11. And then that means this total should be $188. So 120, 40, 60, 70, 80, 85, 87, and 88. So $188. We'll get that back into my accordion binder. And that leaves us with $11. Plus will be on when I get paid and I do my stuffing for my sinking funds. That credit card allowance will be pulled out and added into there as well. So credit card is done, and my first credit card of the month statement balance is paid off. Yay! The next thing I want to do really quickly here is get my no spend tracker updated. I keep messing it up though, and so as I go throughout the month, I'm tracking it on my big agenda. So I'm just going to pull out my big agenda, and then we can, forgot what binder that was in. We'll pull out my next paycheck binder, and we'll pull up here on my no spend tracker. I need to change the first and second was budgeted spending. So I literally filmed that video, talked about the budgeted spending I did, and then failed to mark it off. So these two need to be blue. And then for this week, I got gas and groceries. That was all done on the 7th. And then on the 10th, we made that credit card payment. And then I did that spending on the 9th for the cruise duckies and technically my yarn. So then the rest then are green. So the 8th, 11th, 12th, and 13 are green. So we're not doing too bad so far for the month of February. Okay, so now it's time to pull out my weekly cash and see how much I have left over. I did have to get a couple things of candy for my students, which I talked about. I was out of candy, so I bought a few more things of that, but I do have $5, $6, $7, $8, $9 left over. So I'm just gonna sit this over here to the side because I'm gonna pull my weekly cash and roll the die and see how much we're pre-saving, and then we'll add that to this stack and then see how much we can mark off on my dollar bills y'all savings challenge. So it's really hard for me to continually do the no spend challenge month after month, and so I budget this cash I give myself weekly to buy little things, so I'm not charging a bunch of little things on my credit card, and it's mainly like candy for my classroom, or if I like want to drink or things like that. And so I decided it's going to be low spend / no spend January or February. And so how I'm doing that is I'm pre-rolling the die and I'm pulling out that amount, and then I'm letting myself utilize the rest of the money however I see fit for the month, and it doesn't count towards my spending. And then if I have any left over, I can then add that to the stack, and we'll just see how much we have to stuff the following week. So I hope that made sense. Seems kind of confusing, I know, but we are pulling out $15, and that will leave us with $5 in here. So $5, $10, and $15. That leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I will be going to the bank because I do get paid next week. So, and I'll be pulling out my next month's, or the middle of February to middle of March's cash. And we'll be adding that in there next week. So we have $15. This is an 8-sided die. We put that in my Dollar Bills Y'all Savings Challenge by Ira Budgets. And he can make this for you and name it, and you get the challenge, the envelope, the vinyl, and the die whenever you make that purchase. So let's see how much of this $15 we are adding in this week. We are adding in a 5, which is great since I have all 5s. Okay, so that gives me $10 of guilt-free spending that I can do. Again, mainly I go to the Dollar Tree and buy stuff for my students, but I occasionally like go to Sonic or little drink shop or coffee shop here in town as well. So that gives me 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, $14. So I could do 2 7s, or I could do an 8 and a 6. I think I'm going to do an 8 and a 6 because why not? And then that gives me, I have a 3, a 5, a 6, a 7, and an 8 marked off. So let's get that added in here. And that gives us 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, and $29. It stuffs a total of $225. I do add an additional 4 or 5 to make it that $225 though. All right, that is exciting. Okay, now, if you've been with me for some of my other videos, especially whenever I was stuffing my sinking fund, as you would have seen, a lot of my envelopes are very full. So my sinking funds are really thick, it's barely closing, and so I do need to do some condensing. So I'm going to pull out my cash tray, get out some hundreds, and we are going to start condensing some of my envelopes. I honestly don't recall how much I'm going to need. So I pulled out 2,000. So I did a $1,000 placeholder, a $500 placeholder, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 $100 placeholders, and then 2 50s. And so I'm just going to put my 1,000 and 500 back there. And then we'll do some hundreds and 50s. I might need some smaller bills, but we will just kind of address that as we get to it. So birthdays has $50. And so that gives me 2 20s and 2 5s. And then I can put a 50 in there. Christmas has 100. And it has 100. Canva only has, oh, not only, it does have 50, so we can go ahead and switch that out. Oh, this is backwards, so that's why I couldn't read it. So I thought it had nothing, so I couldn't see how the total. Okay, Costco has 15. Well, I do stuff 5, so I might be able to condense that down to, oh no, it's already condensed down, 10 and a 5. Car maintenance has 10.50. And I have 2 20s and a 10. And I do need some more 50s. And then I need one of those 50s to go into here. So it gives us 10.50 in car maintenance. Car registration has 63. Oh gosh, this one was one that had so many. I have 50, and then I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I'm going to flip that in here for a 10, and then 63. Perfect. I ran out of my 2s placeholders, and I couldn't figure out why. I got to my car registration, there's 12 or 6 of them in there, so nice. $6. That has 5 and a 1. Copay, 110. 50, 20, 40. I'm gonna put 20, 40, and then two fives makes 50. I'm gonna pull out that 50. One of my copays is $50, so I'll keep the 50s in there. And that's my next appointment that's coming up, is my oncology appointment. So I'll be using one of those 50s in March. My car has 826, yeah. 5, 6, 7, 750, 77, 790, 800. So that would make 100. 50, 20s, 10. Let me pull out 100. So it gives me 5, 6, 7, 8, 25, and 826. Perfect. I can already tell this is going to be a lot smaller. Life insurance has 145, 1, 20, 30, 35, 40, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let me pull out a 5. And so that means I need a 20, 10, 15, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Perfect. Oh, that's so much thinner. Umbrella, 210. Okay, so if I do 50, so I need to pull 10 and a 100, and then I can put in 110. 1, 2, 10. All right, my classroom has $50, and I think I just have 2 20s and a 10. I'm gonna keep that at 2 20s and a 10 because I spend out of this fund pretty frequently. 140 in graduation, 10. Yep, I can flip out that 10 and 2 5s for a 20. And last envelope here is taxes. This has 515. Oh, we're at 500. Okay, I knew I was going to need a bigger place, so I couldn't remember if it was a 500 or 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 450, 470, 490, 500. Okay, so we'll put all of that in here. 2 20s and a 10. I'll pull out that 500. I do put like washi tape and or vinyl on my 500,000, 1,500, $2,500 placeholders just to distinguish them a little bit better. Okay, oh, sinking funds is done. That's a lot thicker. We got some give in it as well. These are my long-term sinking funds. So let's get in there and see. I think the only thing I've been adding money to is a vacay. So let's see if anything in here needs to be condensed. I have 1,025. Oh yeah, $1,000. 500, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 1,000. I was just thinking, so I was like, I thought there was going to be stuff I was going to have to pay for, but I can just break it because I don't know when that is actually going to be. I think it might be another month before I have to buy anything. I thought I was going to have to buy stuff for my all-inclusive, but turns out it's shockingly all-inclusive, so I just have to schedule things. I just didn't realize like how much all-inclusive meant. And so like the spa is included, the drinks are included, like there's catamarans that are included, there's trips to cenote, like everything is included, and it's crazy to me, but very excited. I thought I was gonna have to spend some excess money. So I was keeping those into smaller bills, but turns out I don't. Okay, test condensing is done. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you watching my videos and interacting with my videos and commenting down below. If you've enjoyed my content, please hit like and again, comment below. And if you feel so inclined to, please subscribe. I'd love to have you join my journey. But until I see you next time, I hope you have a successful week. My next video is a budget with me, so come along for that journey. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.